Welcome back, everybody, to the Stock Market Summary Series. Hope you had a really fantastic weekend. We're kicking off the week with a really fascinating market picture. It's got that classic mixed bag feel today. So the main indices, they looked kind of muted on the surface, but underneath, some key technical setups are definitely hinting that, bigger moves could be brewing. We're going to unpack why the S&P 500 is basically hugging a critical resistance line right now, what's going on with Tesla's textbook coil pattern, and how Bitcoin is maybe setting up for a breakout. So stick around because we're going to get into why all this matters and, how it fits into the bigger picture. As always, guys, if you find these daily summaries helpful, definitely hit that like button and maybe click subscribe while you're at it so you never miss a beat. You can always unsubscribe later, no pressure. And as you guys know, none of this is buying or selling advice. Nope, we're just here providing some market commentary and trading education that hopefully you find useful and ideally entertaining too. Do you think we're entertaining? Let us know in the comments. And hey, while you're there, leave us a trading question or maybe a ticker you're watching. We might just answer it in the next summary video. Okay, you're here for the no-fluff summary of the market, so let's get right into it. Today, it really felt like a breather after last week's rally, didn't it? But there's actually quite a lot to unpack in these kind of quiet movements.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is how the indices are positioning themselves. I mean, the S&P 500, it closed pretty much flat, just hugging that key weekly resistance trend line that Des highlighted in our weekend video.
Yeah.
And that Grok indicator still flashing sell signals, which, always suggests maybe a bit of caution is warranted.
Yeah.
Potential shift away from the bulls.
Right. And it feels like the NASDAQ is still kind of trying to push higher, though, showing some of that underlying strength.
It is, yeah. The NASDAQ eked out about 0.31%. Just continuing its grind towards new highs. But that RSI divergence watch we talked about on Friday, still active. So price making new highs, but the RSI isn't quite confirming with the same strength. Potential overbought signal there.
Okay, something to keep an eye on.
Definitely. Meanwhile, the Dow slipped a little, 0.15%, still sort of stalling just below its all-time high, like we noted yesterday. And the Russell 2000 dipped 0.12%. It's consolidating in that flapping bull flag pattern we've been tracking. Seems like it's building energy for a potential move. Accumulation, perhaps.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, some individual stocks really stood out today. Tesla, for instance, still coiled up tight in its symmetrical triangle. It kissed the upper resistance trend line again today. That's just a textbook setup, isn't it? The kind we teach in the mentorship for spotting those potential big institutional moves.
Good point. What about sectors?
Energy, XLE, was the leader today, up 1.14%.
Wow.
Real estate, XLRE, was the laggard, dropping quite a bit, 1.73%.
Okay. And economic news. Felt pretty quiet today.
It really was. Markets seemed more driven by the technicals, like we've been discussing, and maybe some anticipation for the Fed's meeting on July 30th.
Which we talked about last week, yeah.
Exactly. No major data releases today, but investors are probably still digesting Friday's University of Michigan report, the one showing cooling inflation expectations.
Right. Consumer sentiment.
Yeah, that underlying worry about the consumer is still kind of there.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone's keeping an eye on tariff news and the upcoming jobs data. Bit of a waiting game for a clear macro signal.
Always that balance, isn't it? Technicals versus the macro picture. Okay, let's switch gears. Crypto and metals. Bitcoin, BTC.
Bitcoin slid a bit today, about 1.37%. It's testing its 20-day moving average right now, still in that tight bull flag consolidation we've been tracking since last week.
Right. Between, what was it, $116,000 and $120,000?
Exactly. Just chopping around in that range, trading these tight consolidation patterns, knowing where to potentially get in, what to manage your risk. That's precisely the kind of practical skill we focus on in the Grok Trade mentorship.
Makes sense. How about gold?
Gold, GLD, dropped about 0.65%. It's still inside that bullish pennant pattern we flagged over the weekend. That's another consolidation pattern, usually suggests the prior trend might continue after a pause.
And the miners, GDX.
The gold miners ETF, GDX, is holding a classic ascending triangle. Another potentially bullish setup we're watching closely for a breakout.
Okay. And silver, SLV.
Silver closed flat today, just sort of stalling right above its 20-day moving average, still waiting for a clear signal there, a decisive move.
Gotcha. By the way, folks, if you've got a stock you're watching closely, or maybe just a general question about the markets, drop it in the comments below. We might just cover it in an upcoming episode.
Yeah, always interested to hear what's on your radar.
Especially on days like today, right? Where the market's a bit choppy, you're waiting for confirmation. Having a solid game plan, a framework, is just so key.
Absolutely.
And that's really why our Grok Trade mentorship program exists, to help equip you to navigate exactly these kinds of days. We put a big emphasis on risk management strategies so you can trade with more confidence.
It's really about empowering you, giving you the tools to understand why the market is moving the way it is. Mastering setups like that Tesla triangle or PSTG's breakout or even Bitcoin's bull flag, it's not just about seeing the pattern.
It's the psychology behind it.
Exactly. Understanding the market psychology. And yeah, there's definitely more where these kinds of insights come from in our mentorship program.
So summing up today, definitely feels like a bit of a breather after last week's rally.
A pause, yeah.
But those technical setups, especially in Tesla and Bitcoin, they look really poised, don't they? Potentially for some big moves soon, especially as the main indices are flirting with these key levels.
It's all about watching these critical points now. The market's consolidating, it's building energy. We're just waiting to see which way it breaks. That pause isn't necessarily bad. It's often the market getting ready for its next real move.
Well said. Okay, last call. Have a ticker you want us to break down? Drop it in the comments. Seriously, we love seeing what you're all watching out there. And maybe, what are your thoughts on PSTG's breakout holding up? Or the VIX think it has potential to spike soon? Let us know.
Good questions to ponder.
All right, everyone, that's the summary for today. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in tomorrow's market summary.